Welcome to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show, everyone. I'm Rajni Bharara, your host. And before I move ahead with this amazing, exciting episode, let me read out this very important disclaimer. By watching our videos, you agree and understand that the information provided by our experts and attorneys, including comments and replies from users, is not legal advice. Use of information is at your own risk. All right, after this very important disclaimer, welcome back, everyone. I'm Rajni Bharara, your host, and today we are diving deep into a topic that resonates with so many. What lies ahead for asylum seekers? Insights and strategies from an immigration paralegal. Joining us is the incredibly dedicated and experienced Andres Ibarra with over a decade of expertise in the legal field. Andres has spent his career as an immigration paralegal, helping individuals navigate the complex world of immigration. As an immigrant himself, Andres brings a not only professional insight but also a deeply personal understanding of the challenges and triumphs that come with the immigration journey. His passion for assisting others shines through his work as he tirelessly helps people overcome obstacles and find solutions to their migratory issues. So, now get ready for an insightful discussions packed with strategies, tips, and hope for asylum seekers looking to build a better future. But now, without any further ado, let me give a very warm welcome to Andres Ibarra. So, Andres, it's your first time on Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. Welcome. How are you?
Hi, Rani. My pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you
Thank
for the
you.
invitation. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure having you on the show. Andres, I've already, I tried to introduce you a bit and I tried to explain you what you do and what all you have done and about your experience to our audiences. But still, I would like for you to tell more about your experience and your journey as an immigration paralegal so that our audiences know more about you and your.
Perfect, Rani. Thank you. Well, my name is, as like you said, Andres Ibarra. I'm from Venezuela, South America. I've been here in the United States for almost 10 years in the immigration field. Okay. I'm an attorney as well. Okay. Perfect back in Venezuela. And I decided to the last almost 10 years in the immigration field, helping another individuals to get, a legal status in the United States. As you can say, we have a lot of immigration relief that some people don't know, but most of the immigrants that came from South America, from Cuba, the war in Syria, okay, they're coming looking for or seeking asylum because of the persecution that the person is suffering in their home country. So a little bit, a lot of individuals there are getting into the United States of the past like 5 years, 8 years, because of the socialism problems in South America and other problems like war in Middle East.
Right, right. Thank you so much again for being here, and so good to know about you, Andres. And we look for professionals like you to educate our viewers and to educate our immigrant community. So thank you again for being here. Now, without any further ado, we'll start this session. I would like to ask my a lot of questions that I prepared for you. But before I do
Okay.
that, I would like to tell our audiences that we are live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and also on Twitter. And the handle is Immigration Talk Show. So don't forget to subscribe to us. And if you have any question regarding asylum cases and any question that you'd like to know the answer of, so make sure that you comment your question. Yes, and we'll be taking your questions in a bit and we'll ask those questions from Andres. So make sure that you are commenting, asking the questions. Yes, please do that. And if you want to join us on call and would like to directly ask Andres a question on call, so you can dial the number 425-436-6335, and you have to put the access code, which is 9 5 times 8, 988888. So make sure that you dial this number, put the access code, and we'll put you through. Now, Andres, without any further ado, I'm sure, everybody who have joined us right now, I know they know what asylum is, and but still, there must be people who are joining us for the first time and who may be looking for guidance on different other visa and and I'm hearing about asylum for the first time. So would you like to tell them what asylum is and how asylum works?
Basically, an asylum is a human rights watch. It's a human rights, that it's settled in all the countries around the world. Asylum is immigration relief. We are gonna, located the asylum in in United States, in the immigration law of United States. So a people or a person or individual who feels harm, who's being persecuted in their home country, they can they can apply for asylum in the United States. Okay, based on their religion, political opinion, race, sexual orientation. Okay, so they can file an asylum to seek protection because the person has fear to returning to their home country. Okay, if if that person granted his asylum, that person can become a resident in a 1 year after the approval of the asylum.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for letting us know, Andres. Now, I would like to ask you my other question, and I think let me directly jump into the tougher questions now. So,
No
how can we,
worries.
yeah, so please tell us, how can we address the current backlog of 8 million pending asylum claims globally?
Yeah, basically, Ryan, the thing that is happening in UCIS is because UCIS is uh mm, UCIS don't receive funds from the government. UCIS the UCIS works with the payment that the person makes
Mhm.
because of the immigration applications. So there are not much officials deciding asylums. So the most important thing that the administration can do is hire more asylum officers so they can decide all the asylum applications that are pending from back 5, 6, 7 years that are pending with no response. The good thing about that is the person can renew the EAD, the work authorization application, so for about 5 years, because that law changed with the Biden administration. They changed the duration of the EAD from 2 years to 5 years. So the most good thing that the Trump administration can do is hire more officials, so the person that is waiting for a response for 5, 6, 7 years, they can have the decision of their cases.
Okay. Okay, thank you for answering the question. And I can already see a lot of like people have already started commenting. So Ali
Mhm.
is here. Hi Ali. Ali says, Rajni, hi Ali. Please let us know what your question is. And yes, keep commenting, keep on posting your questions so that we can take them and ask from Andres. And Bhavin question is also here. He has posted a question which we'll take, but in a bit. Meanwhile, I would like to know from you, Andres, that why do government agencies like USCIS, they rarely release comprehensive data on asylum fraud investigations. So why do you think that happens?
Because a lot of not a lot of asylums, some cases of asylum, they call frivolous asylum because they don't have a really good or a truly persecution. So asylum become in United States immigration relief that the person presents just to get an EAD to work legally and a social security card. A difference between United States and other countries in the world, for example, like for example in Spain, Europe, you file for asylum and you don't get an EAD and you
Hmm.
don't get a social security card because the asylum doesn't grant you an employment authorization.
Right.
But right here in the United States, you file for asylum and you need to wait 150 days to apply for the work authorization card and the employment authorization as well.
Mhm.
So many people file a frivolous asylum just to get an employment authorization card and social security card. That's why the government are saying that a lot of asylums are frivolous.
Mm.
That's the reason why.
Okay, okay. Also, then, on this, if you can please also let us know that how can we distinguish between, legitimate asylum claims or legitimate asylum cases and intentionally, fraudulent applications?
Well, basically, there are some asylums. I handle some cases at asylum that have no evidence. Okay, because
Mm-hmm,
the case is not good enough. So when you have an asylum that has no evidence, probably the asylum will be denied.
mm-hmm,
If the asylum, we need to make a difference between affirmative asylum and defensive asylum. The affirmative asylum is the asylum that goes before UCIS, okay? Because the person
mm-hmm,
entered, for example, legally with a visa, okay? And then when the person entered with a visa, okay, the person feels fear to return to their home country, and they file for asylum before UCIS. We have the defensive asylum, that is the person entered illegally through the border, and then the Department of Homeland Security file an NTA before an immigration court, and the person needs to defend that asylum before an immigration judge and immigration court. That is two types of asylum that are totally different. The affirmative from the defensive asylum.
okay. So, all right. Thank you so much again for answering the question, Andres. I can still see
Yeah.
people posting their question. So we will be taking their questions
Okay.
in a bit. But before I do that, asylum cases have always been, most of the asylum cases have always been suspected as fraudulent cases, and people say, if they have to make, like, people have to commit frauds, then they file for asylum cases. How much truth do you think is in it? Do you think that it actually happens, or like people actually try to blow it out of proportion?
People people are trying to desperate get an EAD, like I said you before, like I explained you before. Yeah, people are desperate to get an employment authorization so they can work legally into the United States. Okay, so the application of asylum by itself, it's not so difficult to file, because it's a form, the I-580 form, okay, with a story. You don't have to at the first time you don't have to file for evidence. You can do it that later. So probably the Trump administration will be hire more officials so they can like clean it up all that frivolous asylum, so they can decide asylum whether to deny it or approve of the asylums, but trying to stop the backlog of the so many claims of asylum that they are from about 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Some people are waiting for the response 10 years of the asylum. The asylum still be pending. Mhm, okay, so probably what's going to happen with this Trump administration, they're going to stop. They're going to stop people file for the frivolous asylums.
Okay. All right. Thank you again for answering the question, Andre. I would like to now ask you my next question, which is about, what legislative changes are needed to streamline asylum processing?
Okay, basically, it's the same topic or the same reason that I explained you before. Uh, to update the process of the decision of the asylum, we need to, or the administration need to hire more officials, so many more officials, so they can decide the asylums very quickly. Okay, but basically the process by himself, it's very express, it's very fast. The delay, the delay of the asylum process is in the decision, is in the interview, because you filed asylum before UCIS and you can do it online. Okay, online through the UCIS webpage, and then you fill out online the form with the evidence, with the attached. Okay, then the platform gives you a receipt notice. Okay, then the platform gives you a biometric appointment, and then you need to wait until 150 days to apply for the EAD. Okay, to that process, until that, it's very express. What the delays becomes is in the decision, is in the interview. So answering your question, my opinion is they need to hire more officials, so that call for the interview be more quickly. Okay, basically that.
Okay. So before I, take my next question, let me quickly take maybe one or two viewers' question. So let me take Bhavin's question. Bhavin says, my asylum application has been pending for years, and I'm starting to feel hopeless. What are my options if the USCIS backlog continues to delay my
So
case?
when the application's been pending for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever years they've been pending, you can file uh, a request to UCIS to ask UCIS to expedite the interview, based on that you feel, you can say hopeless, you can say very insecure of your case, that it's been so many years pending, that you want an answer, so you can file perfect application to expedite the interview before UCIS. For example, if you're living in, I don't know, Florida, so you file that request to the asylum officer in whatever, Miami, Tampa, Orlando. Okay, and UCIS is responding that request very quickly, very quickly.
Okay. Okay.
So in my opinion,
Let me move.
that person needs to file a request
Okay.
to UCIS.
Okay. To USCIS. Okay. So, Bhavin, I hope you have got your answer. Thank you so much for posting your question. Meanwhile, let me take my next question. If you can please tell us, Andres, that what legal strategies can prevent the detention of asylum seekers, especially
Well,
children?
basically, right now with the Biden administration, there are so many programs, like for example the humanitarian parole, that are for Nicaragua, Venezuela, Ukraine. Okay, so the administrations or the government, the US government wants to stop the legally entry of individuals. Okay, so uh, you have so many programs right now at this moment that prevents the detention or prevents the legally entrance of individuals into the United States. So I recommend that person or those persons to apply for those programs, that the person, I don't know, live in, for example, Venezuela, and doesn't have a visa to enter legally, to apply those programs, so the person can enter legally. And after the person enter legally, can file for their asylum if the person feels fear to return to to their home country. That's what I recommend. Or because there are programs, like I said before, there are programs so the person can apply for those programs and enter legally to the United States.
Okay. Okay. And how can we ensure humane treatment while maintaining border security?
Human treatment while maintaining border security. Okay. Uh Basically the border right now at this moment, okay, remains closed. Okay, because the U.S. government wants to stop the human trafficking that is occurring in Mexico, for example. Okay, this person called coyotes in Spanish, they dedicated to the human trafficking. They promise those persons to pay a sum of money, so that coyote helps that person to enter legally to the United States. So that's why there are these programs like for example, the humanitarian parole, to prevent the human trafficking and to prevent the security of the United States.
Okay. Okay. And Andre, I would also like to tell you that, like, do we have any recent updates now that, the Trump administration is back and um, they are back with the second term? So, do we have any updates on what might the future look like for the asylum seekers?
Okay, basically, like I said before, basically, I think the Trump administration, when Trump gets to the presidents in January, first of all, they're gonna speed up all the asylums that are pending.
Okay.
First, second, they're gonna speed up all the asylums that are pending before an immigration judge. Okay, I have clients that has or that have courts in 2028, 2029. So we're talking about 5 years, 4 years. So they're going to speed up because probably the Trump administration want to clean up all the asylums that are pending for many years. Probably those measures of the asylums are frivolous. We don't know. He
But
want
then,
to
uh-huh.
he want to prevent the backlog. He want to prevent that so many people are pending for a decision. So if they're a good case, okay, perfect. You want your asylum, you get a residency, you get a green card. But if not, if you don't have a good case, you don't have enough evidence, so probably they're gonna give you a deportation order. So he wants to like clean up the immigration system right now at this moment.
Okay. Okay. So, but then what makes you say that he's going to probably speed up the immigration for asylum seekers? He's going to speed up the process and speed up the applications. Like, did he like anywhere mention it or?
Yeah, because probably there are so many asylum seekers that doesn't have a good case or doesn't have any uh, good case about what happened in their home country. Probably those asylum seekers that have been in the United States for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, probably they have criminal records. We don't know that.
Mhm.
Okay, so the person has criminal records. That person doesn't be eligible for asylum. That's the main reason for not being eligible for an asylum, that you have criminal record.
Mhm.
So in his past administration before Biden,
Mhm.
he put ICE. ICE is the immigration police in the street to look up for those person who have criminal records and put the other person in an airplane back to the home country. So
Mhm.
probably in this new administration, the 2020 2025, probably he's gonna do the same, speed up all the asylum process that are pending,
Mhm.
clean up a little bit the immigration system that is backlog for a long time ago, So like if you got a good case, you won the case, perfect. You had a green card, you have a residency of the United States of America. If you don't have a bad case, we don't want you in the United States. Go back to your home country.
Mm. Okay.
It's a little bit as an immigrant, it's a little bit sad. I know that, but we know how the Trump administration worked with the immigration field. Biden, it's on the other hand, he promoted TPS for Venezuelan, the TPS for another country, TPS for Ukraine because of the war. It's no more like helpful for the immigrants. But we need to wait until Trump gets to the presidency and wait and let's see.
So, do you think it's going to be better than the Biden administration for the asylum seekers, or?
I don't think so, Ryan. I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. The things in the immigration field with Trump are gonna be more strained, gonna be more, more difficult for the immigrant.
Okay. Okay. But then, there are a lot of talks about H1B and that it's going to be on the positive side, and so other visas too. But then people are like expecting,
Yeah,
the immigrants are expecting that it's going to
yeah,
be good. Hmm.
yeah. But with the H1B visa and other type of visas, we are talking people that are, for example, very professionals that enters legally. Okay, most of the people that are seeking for asylums, they're trying to enter illegally because they don't
Mm.
have any visa to enter legally.
Right.
So the Trump administration is going to be more, pending, more attention to those asylum seekers that enter legally or that has been
Hmm.
illegally for so many years. Because before the immigration law, uh, pending asylums is not granting of a status. The TPS give you a status. The TPS for Syria, Yemen, Sierra Leone, Ukraine, Venezuela, Nicaragua. There are 20 countries designated for the TPS. When you granted a TPS, when you have a grant TPS, you have a legal status, and the TPS protects you from the order from our order of deportation. If you have a pending asylum, it doesn't give you a status, a legal status into the United States. You get employment authorization card. Yeah, of course. You get a social security card, but you don't have a status per se because that EAD, that employment authorization is gonna be valid. Meanwhile, the asylum is pending. When the asylum is denied, that employment authorization doesn't have any value, legally value, because the asylum was denied. There are so many people that think that have a pending asylum give you a status, a legal status in the United States. It doesn't give you a legal status in the United States. So that's why all the people that are pending asylum for so many years, for law, for example, they marry to a U.S. citizen and they get the residency, the green card before marrying a U.S. citizen, or they do a labor certification because they're professional in certain field. Okay, but other than that, the half a pending asylum doesn't give you any legal status. Basically, that, Remy.
Yeah, thank you so much for answering the question, Andres. Let me move to my next question. I would also like to know from you that what are the most effective legal approaches to protect asylum seekers' rights?
The most legal approaches, like I said before, it's the needs to be more expedite in the decision. If UCIS it's more expedite in giving a person a decision about their application asylum, there's more effective legal to protect those rights or those rights for the asylum seekers. We need we need to have to UCIS it needs to be more expedite on the interview, so the person doesn't feel a little bit insecure about their application. Needs to be more expedite on the decision of the asylum. If UCIS becomes more expedite on the decision, the person uh, feel more protect of the rights.
Okay. All right. And also, if you can also, guide us on how can we strengthen national asylum systems to efficiently identify genuine protection needs?
Well, basically, I think when you file for asylum, probably and improve to expedite, I would recommend like a first interview. You file your asylum. That is a proposal from me. You file for asylum. UCIS receive your asylum. Basically, an initial interview. So that official with the initial interview that can be through Zoom, chat, through telephone, I don't know, something like that, very quickly, very informal. That official can be known with that interview if the person really feel fear to return to their home country. If the person if the person has a credible fear, so the officer of UCIS can set up a final interview, so that person file their evidence, the asylum officer review the evidence and make a decision. So if we can install that previous interview, I think it will be more expedite on the asylum application release.
Okay. So, again, thank you for answering the questions,
Perfect.
Andres. Let me move to the viewers' questions for a bit and let me take their
Yeah.
questions. Geeta is here and she wants to know how have recent policy changes, such as the Remain in Mexico policy or the asylum transit ban, impacted asylum seekers? And what do you anticipate will happen with these policies in the
Yeah.
future?
She's talking about Remain in Mexico, the MPP program. That program doesn't exist anymore. That program consists in the person remains in Mexico. Meanwhile, the asylum will be decided in the United States. Okay, so that program doesn't exist anymore because the person that remain in Mexico gets a little bit frustrated in Mexico, waiting for a decision. So the person coming through illegally through the border. Okay, so that program, like I said before, doesn't exist anymore. Uh, what happened in the policies in the future? Probably Trump will remain the border closed. The Trump administration will remain the border closed because they want to stop the they legally enter to United States. Probably, probably there'll be more programs so people can enter legal to the United States. For example, the humanitarian parole. Okay, probably that program will be extended to another countries because only four countries have that program: Ukraine, Nicaragua, Cuba, and Venezuela. Okay, probably that program gives you or gives a person to look for a sponsor in the United States. So the sponsor is a petition for that person that is in Venezuela, for example, and that person can enter legally based on a screening that UCIS does to that sponsor. The sponsor, for example, needs to be a resident or U.S. citizen. That sponsor needs to share their taxes to UCIS So UCIS can confirm that the sponsor will be responsible uh, for economic reasons or whatever reason to that person that gets to the United States. So probably the Trump administration will be more developed on some more programs to that the person can enter legally to the United States.
Okay, all right. And she also goes on to ask, she wants to know that are there any upcoming policy changes or proposed legislation that could significantly, excuse me, affect asylum seekers? And if so, how might these changes impact their cases?
At this moment, December 30th, there are no policy changes so far. We need to wait to the Trump administration starts in January 20th, 2025, and we need to wait until if there have any policy changes or proposal legislations. We don't know. There are so many news, but nothing is, truth. We need to wait until Trump gets into the presidency and wait.
Mm, okay. So Neha is also here and she says, what role do immigration attorneys and paralegals play in the asylum process? And how can asylum seekers ensure they are working with competent and experienced representatives?
When you hire an attorney, okay, when you hire an attorney, obviously you need to look it up of the attorney background. Okay, the attorneys in United States have a bar number. That bar number you can Google it and you can see all the information about the attorney. Okay, all the attorneys have paralegal because it's impossible that one attorney handles a lot of cases. Okay, so my recommendation is that before you hire an attorney, you look it up in the internet. Internet's public. You can look it up all the information about the attorney and the paralegals and the office and whatever. Okay. And before hiring an attorney, my recommendation is look at all the informations based on the attorney experience, based on an initial interview. All the attorney have an initial interview with our clients. Our clients explain their cases. We explain our client what that person needs to do, and if the person feels confident with that attorney, so they can hire the attorney. But previously, I recommended to look at all of the background of the attorney that are talking to.
Okay. All right. And she also says that are there any specific qualities, qualifications, or characteristics that asylum seekers should look for when selecting an immigration attorney or paralegal to
Well,
represent them?
basically, you can file, like I said before in the intro of this conversation, you can file an asylum of based
Mhm.
on first religion. If you feel fear to return to your home country based on of your religion, you can file for asylum. Nationality, sexual orientation, political opinion is the most common. The most common from for Venezuelans, for Cubans, Nicaraguans, okay, because on those countries there are dictatorship that is based 20, 30 years ago, okay. So if you feel fear for religion, nationality, race, sexual orientation, political opinion, you can file. You're eligible for an asylum. Okay. If you, for example, that is common, so much common on Venezuelan people, because I'm from Venezuela, that the person comes to me and said, "Hey, I suffer a kidnapping, for example, in Venezuela. That is, it's a crime. That crime is not asylum material because it's not a religion, it's not political opinion, it's not sexual orientation, nationality, etc. It's based on crime organizations. So that type of person is not eligible for asylum. If you are eligible for asylum for the reason that I explained you before, you can file for asylum no matter what.
Okay. But then, Andres, I would, she also wants to know that are there certain specific qualifications or qualities or maybe characteristics that the seeker should be looking for an immigration attorney or a paralegal when they, when they hire them
Well,
for
basically,
themselves?
if you hire for attorney, that attorney needs to be like myself, needs to be experienced in removal defense. So attorneys, some attorneys doesn't do asylums because they don't have any experience. Like I said before this question, you need to look it up of the attorney backgrounds. If the attorney have experience in asylum seekers, removal defense, deportation defense, so that attorney is qualified to represent you in your asylum process.
Okay, and let me move on to my next question, which is from not me, but from
Okay.
Baldeep. And he says, can you share a particular success story or a case that you have worked on involving an asylum seeker, and what strategies or approaches contributed to the successful
Well,
outcome?
basically, I don't supposed to give so much details because it's confidential information. Okay, but there was one case of Honduran woman that she was abused. She was abused back in Honduras because their Central American countries, the males are, you can say, as machistas in Spanish. Okay, so the women are really mistreated in that home countries. So our office has evidence of abuse. Okay, that woman was burned by her husband, and we got evidence of that case. Physical report, medical report, photos, videos. If you have very detailed evidence of what happened to you in your home country, probably you want to win your asylum. But if you don't have any evidence of what happened in your home country, probably would be so much difficult to win your asylum case.
Okay, so again, before I take Cynthia's question, I would like to move to my own question. I would like to know from you that, um, Andres, if you can also tell that what unique legal challenges do refugees from these, uh, okay, not this one, but okay, from these regions face, and I'm talking about, Syria, Ukraine,
Well,
Gaza.
basically,
So,
running for your information, okay, Syria, for example, has TPS based on the war. Ukraine, the Ukraine people has TPS. Okay, so those countries that are suffering war at this moment, okay, they can apply for TPS and they can have a legal status because the Biden administration gives Syria, Yemen, Ukraine the TPS, the immigration relief for TPS based on the war. So easily that person can apply for TPS and have a legal status. So the chat,
oh.
the solution for the United States to the people from Ukraine or Yemen, because United States are aware of what happened in those countries. For example, Ukraine, because Russia is into Ukraine and the war and all of that. So the Trump administration gives that person the chance to have a legal status based on the TPS.
Okay. Okay. And let me quickly move on to the next question. That how are the ongoing crises in Syria with 5.6 million refugees, Ukraine and Gaza? How are they impacting global asylum policies?
Unfortunately, uh, the backlog of the asylum cases doesn't give that is from Syria we want to expedite, that is from Ukraine we want to expedite asylum, that is from whatever. All the cases that are in backlog also they're for Syria, Ukraine, Gaza. Okay, but like I said before, that person that because of the war fled uh, their home country and they apply for asylum 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago based on war, based on whatever reason, what happened in those countries, that person has a immigration relief that give you a protected status that is the TPS. So my recommendation on those person that are waiting for for a decision of their asylum, I recommend that those people from Syria, for Ukraine, apply for the TPS.
Okay, okay. But then, do they have any like major impact on global asylum policies, like refugees from these regions?
Well, basically, based on the immigration legal or immigration United States immigration law, they're not impacting so many, because the case of the asylum are waiting for interview, because there is not only this country, we have Cuba that has a dictatorship for about 80, 90 years, and they are asylums. There are so many asylums pending for Cuban people, and it's not, getting expedite those asylum cases.
Okay. Let me take one last question for
Okay.
today's show, Andres. And the question is from Cynthia. And she says, isn't it true that allowing large numbers of asylum seekers into the country poses a significant threat to national security and public safety? What do you have to
Well,
say about
like I
this?
said before, Ragni, what Trump administration probably gonna do is screening all the asylums that are pending based on that person has criminal record. The only thing that gives you ineligibility for the asylum is has criminal record. So probably they're gonna do is do like a screening if you have a criminal record, so you're gonna be deported to your home country. And probably a large, probably we don't know that yet, but probably a lot of asylum seekers they're not eligible because of that. What Trump says all the time is they don't he don't want criminals in the United States. Is the main thing that he always say. So probably he's gonna do that.
Okay. Okay, so I think that's it for the questions for today. And but thank you so much, Cynthia, for your question. If you have any more questions, please keep on commenting them. And even if the show gets over, we'll be replying to your questions. We'll take your questions to our experts, and we'll try to get an answer, and we'll reply to your question in the comments. So thank you so much. And guys, if you want to get in touch with Andres Ibarra, you can give him a call on the number 786-806-2438. I would like to repeat it, 786-806-2438. You can also email him. His email ID is abojibara at
Mhm.
gmail.com. Yes. Let me read it out again, abojibara at gmail.com, and his Instagram is at abojibar. So make sure that you follow him on Instagram and you write an email to him, and also give him a call on his number if you need any help related to your case, or if you have any queries regarding asylum cases. But thank you so much for all your questions. And thank you so much, Andres, for being here. It was great having you on the show. Thank you so much for your insights. And guys, if you want to get in touch with me, you can write. You can write to me on my email, which is rajni at staffingly.com. And you can also give me a call on the number 732-707-9151. With that, thank you so much again, Andres, for being here. It was great having you on the
Thank you,
show.
Rani.
And
Thank you,
yes,
Rani, for invitation. My pleasure for your time, for your attention. I hope my explanation about the asylum give you people a lot of another view of their opinion of their cases.
of course, it did. It did. Thank you so much for being here, Andres. And yes, if we have any more topics, we would like to connect again and maybe do another show. But for now, thank you so much and wishing you a very happy new year. And yes, hopefully, we'll be seeing you in the next year
Likewise,
now.
thank you. You too.
Thank you so much for all the people for joining us in today's webinar and also for commenting. Uh, but make sure that you also join our 4 p.m. daily immigration dose because Sam and Nipasa are going to be back with another great topic and going to have a good discussion on that topic. So make sure that you join us on the 4 p.m. show, a daily immigration dose. But for now, I'll have to take your leave. I'm Rajni Bharara signing off for now. Keep on watching and keep on subscribing to Immigration and Jobs Talk Show. Take care.